The wind roared across the metallic field, carrying the hum of distant starliners departing toward the inner colonies. Elia lifted his visor, scanning for the malfunction's source until a soft, strangled cry cut through the static. He froze. Near Dock 47, half buried against a steel column, lay a slender figure wrapped in shredded medic whites, trembling violently. Her eyelashes frosted as if winter itself had claimed her. A glowing badge flickered weakly on her chest. Lyra KESS Interstellar Medical Corps. Trauma nurse. Elia darted to her side, heart hammering. Can you hear me? Her lips parted, breath trembling. Protocol. Shuttle didn't return. Her voice was threadbare, collapsing between syllables. Cold, so cold. He didn't hesitate. Stripping off his thermal jacket, he wrapped it around her shivering form, lifting her with careful arms. She felt weightless, as if her strength had already flown somewhere beyond the station. You're safe, he whispered. Though he wasn't entirely sure it was true, but he would make it true. The warming chamber inside an emergency warming pod. Eli calibrated the temperature, watching her cheeks slowly regain color. Covered in the soft gold glow, she looked both fragile and impossibly enduring, like someone who had survived too many battles for one lifetime. How long were you stuck out there? He asked gently. 4 hours, she blinked slowly, pain flickering in her eyes. My transport team evacuated after the explosion. They thought I had boarded. Elia clenched his jaw. They left you behind? She shrugged faintly. Lives were at risk. Chaos everywhere. I understand. But he heard the quiet hurt beneath her words. After a few minutes, her trembling eased. She studied him with soft curiosity. Why were you there? That dock is abandoned. He chuckled lightly, rubbing the back of his neck. Faulty beacon alert? I came out to fix equipment. Didn't expect to find a half-frozen nurse? A ghost of a smile touched her lips. Then I owe my life to a malfunction. Their eyes met her quiet resilience, his steady warmth, and something unspoken passed between them. Something neither wanted to name, yet II, two souls in the aftermath over the next hours. Elia escorted Lyra back into the station's populated levels. But instead of reporting to medical headquarters, she insisted on helping him deliver aid supplies to incoming evacuees from the nearby orbital conflict. I should be resting, she admitted, fastening a thermal wrap over her uniform. But there are people who need immediate attention. You nearly froze to death, he reminded her, and still I'm standing, she said softly. Let me make that survival worth something. He surrendered with a smile. Fine, but I'm staying with you. Someone has to make sure you don't collapse again. They worked side by side, she stabilizing wounded travelers, he carrying crates and managing crowd control. The station lights flickered above them, shimmering like distant stars, as if even the cosmos watched their growing bond. During a rare lull between evacuee waves, Lyra leaned against a wall, exhaustion darkening her eyes. You okay? Elia asked. I'm fine, she insisted, though her knees wobbled slightly. He caught her before she could fall. Her fingers clutched his uniform, soft and warm now. Their proximity sent a quiet shock through both. You don't always have to be strong alone, he murmured. Her breath hitched. I don't know how to be anything else. You'll learn, he said. I'll help. She looked at him for a long moment, as if searching for hidden motives, and found none. Only sincerity, only warmth. When the alarms returned just as calm began to settle, a harsh alarm shattered the moment. The station broadcast blared, warning, orbital fragment shower inbound, seek shelter immediately. Elia swore under his breath. Debris from the earlier conflict. Of course. People panicked. Children cried. Elderly colonists struggled to move, Lyra's expression steeled. We need to guide them to the lower tunnels. I'll get the mobility units, Elia answered, sprinting off. What followed was a blur of chaos and courage. Together they raced across the trembling station, evacuating clusters of frightened civilians. Burning streaks of falling orbital fragments lit up the sky through the glass dome, the world flickering between shadow and fire. At one moment, a massive shock wave ripped through the docking wing. The ground shuddered violently, knocking Lyra off balance straight toward a collapsing support beam. "Lyra!" Elia lunged, grabbing her waist and pulling her out of its path. The beam crashed down where she had stood seconds before. Panting, she clung to him, tears in her eyes. "Elia, you saved me again." His thumb brushed a streak of dust from her cheek. "I'm not losing you. Not today? Not ever." It was then, amid falling fire, trembling floors, and the frantic heartbeat of life slipping through fingers, that Lyra realized something had already changed between them, something irreversible for the shelter and the first, sparking the underground refuge tunnels. Once everyone was accounted for, silence settled like a held breath. Lyra sat beside Elia on the cold ground, leaning her head on his shoulder. "You're warm," she whispered, almost shy. "You're alive," he answered. "That's what matters." She smiled, small, tired, but real. "You could have run for safety. You didn't." "I couldn't leave you," he said simply. Her eyes glistened. "Why?" He paused. No perfect words existed. So he offered the truth. "Because the moment I saw you on that frozen dock, I felt like the universe pushed me there. Like I was meant to find you." Her breath trembled at his confession. "Elia." She hesitated, then placed her hand over his. "Maybe the universe wanted us to rescue each other." Slowly, gently, their foreheads touched. A quiet warmth blossomed between them, fragile but undeniable. Love written in the archives in the weeks that followed the incident. Vesper 9's official logs recorded many things: the debris shower, the evacuations, the survival statistics. But history also remembered something else. A human technician and an interstellar nurse who met on a frozen dock at the edge of the galaxy, and whose unplanned encounter sparked a bond that endured wars, missions, and impossible distances. Elia and Lyra became symbols of resilience, compassion, and unity across species lines. Their story was retold in colonial schools, featured in interstellar archives, and whispered as a reminder of hope, that even in the coldest corners of the universe, a single act of kindness can ignite a love that becomes part of history. And it all began the moment Elia found a freezing nurse at an abandoned ship transport station and refused to walk away.